Morning, everybody. It is May the 10th, I believe. It's Wednesday. Last night, let's back up. So we did get the lentils in, which 1/4 of land, or 150 acres, works out to be roughly 3% of all of our land. So we're 3% done seeding. Problem is, we're usually closer to about 60%, 40 to 60% on an average year on May 10th. A lot of times, we're wanting to put canola in on May the 10th, or start. So, way behind. Last night, we got over an inch of rain. You can see it's running through the yard again. So we pretty much have zero hope of getting anything started today. And looking at the forecast does not give us much hope until after the weekend, likely into next week, because they're calling for another inch to inch and a half of rain tomorrow and Friday combined. So that is not good. That doesn't mean we're down and out, it just means we're behind. There's still a lot of season left. We may have to alter tactics. We may have to change plans. But we'll try, by golly. We haven't given up yet. We're a long way from that. In fact, we're probably a month away from essentially, I wouldn't even say giving up, but just aborting mission and going a completely different route. What that is, I don't know yet, because we're not thinking about that at the moment. What we are thinking about is how can we save an hour here, an hour there with our current setup as is, as you're looking at it today. Well, we're gonna treat some durum, but the power's out right now and I need the air compressor to treat durum. And we're gonna load fertilizer. Now we're probably only gonna do half loads, and we'll talk on the logistics and what we're doing with our cart a little later, maybe a different video. So we're gonna get things set up and pretty much ready to go so that we can go on essentially zero notice. The cart will be full and calibrated, and fuel, tractor's fueled up, ready to go. We'll have as much ready as physically possible based on these circumstances. So we're gonna treat the durum, we're gonna load fertilizer, and I'm probably gonna target about a 2/3 of a load in this. Some other stuff we still need to do is we got to take that tractor down south. We'll probably hook onto the harrows, because the harrows can really help dry out the land. And a few other minor things. But today, moving this fertilizer is kind of unnerving, because it's been so humid and so moist and wet and high humidity and all that, foggy mornings. I worry that this fertilizer may have a bridge somewhere in it. So what we're gonna do, and the reason, well, not just because of the high humidity, but one of our neighbors had a big crease on him because it bridged off and then dropped. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna target for about a ton, and then I'm gonna climb up and take a look and make sure it's feeding down. So I'll show you in a minute. So we're gonna do a little bit at a time, and then once we know everything's flowing nicely, we shall continue. Well, hopefully this works. You can't really see, but there's starting to be a ridge forming all the way around. So that's a good sign. is feeding from the center down. It tunnels pretty much right down the middle of a bin when it's a hopper bottom, or it'll go towards the front when it's well, if it's one of those bins over there, or if you have a drag, it will go in the middle and at the front near the door. But it is definitely working its way down, so that means there's no sign of a bridge. It's really hard to tell. You can kind of see the difference in color right there. Fertilizer, and it goes on at the same rate as this Raxel. This is a seed treatment, fungicide, insecticide, yada yada yada. So our target rate for both separately is 10 bushels per liter. So it works out to be like 2 and a little bit liters a minute out of each. And these are kind of the settings I've found that work with the nozzles we're using, and I've custom made that guy. And you can see, the sun's kind of playing tricks on you, but it comes out kind of a dark pink with a purple hue. So the Raxel is bright red, and the starter is a dark blue purple color. Is Raxel. That is, oh, that guy really hurt right there. So this stuff is durum. It is Spitfire, which I believe it was AAC. I'll have to double check on that. It's they call it Canada West Amber Durum, CW80 quad for slang. So these two are durum, those two are wheat. Used to make bread, used to make pasta. So like semolina, couscous, 00 flour, all that stuff. That's what durum's used for. Over here, that's some Brandon wheat. That's used for bread, cake, a lot of good stuff. Gotta be close. There's only a couple liters left in the bottom of that one. Not a heck of a lot more in that one either. Pail back up there. Oh, there, this one's out. You see it flickering away? Doing pretty good for time. Usually it comes out to about 26 or 27 minutes. Pretty close. So it's pretty miserable, and there's a storm rolling in. We're supposed to get a bunch of rain, but we decided, hey, let's as long as we got a couple hours before it rains here, let's fill the drill, and we're going to calibrate so that when we can go, we are 100% ready to go. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fill the rear tank, which is compartment 1, with about 200 bushels of fertilizer. And then we'll go weigh that, just so that we know how much we got. And then we're gonna fill the front compartment right full with durum. We're gonna leave the center compartment empty. We're worried about things being a bit soft, so we're actually gonna act like this cart is a 400 bushel, or sorry, a 500 bushel instead of a 400, or, oh, I can't talk. We're gonna act like the cart is a 500 bushel. We're just gonna ignore the center compartment for right now, and we just left the inoculant roller in there as well, so that when we roll the peas, we don't have to switch anything out. So step one is going to be, we already weighed both trucks. And then we're going to fill. And then step two is going to go weigh the trucks again so that we know exactly what's in there. Now, before or after this, we're going to do our meter calibration, and I'll show you that. So we'll probably do the meter calibration right away. And that's just so that we know how much each turn, or how much product gets put out by each turn of the, oh, not paying enough attention here. Yeah, so each revolution of the meter roller will put out X amount of product, and then the controller in the cab determines how fast we're going from a GPS puck that's down there right beside Dad's left foot. That GPS puck sends out pulses, and it knows how fast you're going, and based on how our call out rate of X pounds per acre and Y miles per hour, it creates Z revolutions per minute on that roller, and that gets adjusted based on our speed, but that will give you the application you want, provided our calibration number is correct. Now, to confirm our calibration number, that's where we need these guys weighed, so that we know that we run out of product at the right time on the very first one, and then we'll adjust accordingly if we do not. So if we have, durum's a bit easier to do the math on. That's it, or you want a little more? So like I said, we're gonna fill this guy right full. It's a 200 bushel tank. This is tank number 1. Or I always get these mixed up. Actually, I think it's 3. I think it goes 1, 2, 3. So this would be 3. It is a 200 bushel tank. So we're trying to roughly match. So this stuff is going to go on at 2.2 bushel an acre, which comes out to be at 60 pounds per bushel. 2 bushels is 120, and then another 10%, so we're 130 to 135 pounds per acre that we put on of durum, and we're putting 115 pounds of fertilizer on. So that rear tank, that's 300 bushel, we only need it close to 200 bushel in it. And that's going to keep our cart a lot lighter because the ground's pretty saturated and soft around here. I guess what the hell? Huh. I guess I kind of did a bad job of explaining when we are actually going, we're going to fill that back compartment. But for calibration purposes, we only want 90 bushel in there, or sorry, we only want 90 acres worth, or very close to it, so that we don't have to stop at 90 acres to fill seed. And then it would probably come out to be 130 acres to refill the fertilizer, if you follow what I'm getting at here. So to calibrate, we need to put that guy, which is normally in the cab, back here. It hooks up. And then Dad's looking up. There's a chart that has like your RPM and your pounds per acre and your implement width. I guess it's implement width and rate. And from that, you have a desired shaft speed. What's our call out speed? Like 20? Okay. Okay, so we know this guy weighs 6.15 and we're seeing 33.45. Okay, 33.4 minus 6.15, 27 and a quarter. Oof. Yeah, that hurt. So I'll go dump this. Dad's gonna put things into the meter. So it did X number of revolutions and it got us 27 and a quarter pounds. That's the calibration. Okay. All right. So Dad's finishing setting things up, and we always double check when we've got things put up in there that we have the right calibration number, because this thing actually calculates it. So we had, it did 13 point, I think it said 4 revolutions, and out of those 13.4 we got 27 and a quarter pounds of product. And so that gives us, I think Dad said it came out to 2.03 pounds per revolution on that fertilizer. So that's a number we're gonna remember. And so he's gonna make sure everything's set up so that when we go fire it up, the calibration rate is in it, so the turn or pounds per revolution is correct, as well the call out rate, so what we want to apply is correct. In this case it's 115. In the meantime, I'm going to run the fertilizer, well, both trucks to precision to get weighed so we know how much is in there, so that we can know how many acres we should get with what's in there right now. 120, that gives you your 5% over?
No.
Or that takes off your 5% over, or no?
That should be write that in there.
Yeah, we should. So we were, yeah. Oh, that was the helical, right? Or was that the beam roller?
So yeah, I did. I looked at this one, I know I did.
Shit.
115 is kind of right in there, so 30. What makes that?
Well, it's still the same revolution,
like
pounds per revolution. It's just going to change the rate, because like this one will probably have to run faster than, because your target was 20, right? So this one, the target's going to be 35.
Yeah, I think all this is kind of an average one.
Yeah, it's just so that you're not going to run it too fast or too slow if you adjust your speed. Like, it's going to give you your best range of speed.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what you used to. I think that's what you're calibrating by, right?
Yeah, but you know, we got range to go up on both.
Yeah. This one will never be.
And it's not even like we're putting 200 pounds down like we used to.